Within the next few hours at Google I/O 2023, the Pixel 7a is going to be officially announced. But we were lucky enough to get our hands on a retail unit almost a week earlier than official announcement, and we have been putting the Pixel 7a through the paces. And in this video, we're going to do our full honest review of the Pixel 7a. In my humble opinion, the Pixel 7a is almost, and I mean almost, a slam dunk device except for two things which, if they were present on the Pixel 7a, would have made this the best mid-range and a slam dunk device. Without any further delay, let us get down to business. Do note the video is divided into chapters and the links can be found in the description of this video. Let us start off with the design, the ergonomics, and the in-hand feel of the Google Pixel 7a. So the in-hand feel, the weight distribution is pretty good, even though the phone is on the heavier side at 193 grams. The volume rockers, the power button are all clicky and reachable, and the same can be said for your under display fingerprint scanner as well. The placement here is perfect. That is where your thumb is going to rest when you are using your Google Pixel 7a one-handed. Next up, when you start using this for the first time, you will notice that the edges here are a bit sharp. The reason for that is the display now sits flush with the frame, and of course you do have your physical SIM tray on one side, and you also have an eSIM, so you can use two SIMs at the same time. Moving over to the back. So the design on the back has been carried over from the Google Pixel 7. This is the camera bar, and this is how it looks on the Google Pixel 7 as well. However, the height of the camera bar is not as prominent as what you have on the Google Pixel 7. Other than that, the back is glossy finish. It is a bit on the slippery side, and you will be able to see the smudges and fingerprints when light falls on it at the right angles. And the back here is not glass. This is a plastic back on the Google Pixel 7a. Moving over to the display, the first thing you will notice about the display is that the bezels, of course, are not symmetrical, but they are also a bit on the bigger side. So the Google Pixel 7a has a 6.1-inch 90 Hz panel from Samsung. This is a non-LTPO panel, so it will only go to 60 Hz or 90 Hz. The good side here is that this is a flat display, so it is definitely screen protector friendly, and the colors from Samsung panels, as we all know, are pretty good. And if you ask me that, hey Manchi, what about the green or blue tint issue at low brightness? My personal unit of the Google Pixel 7a does not have that issue. However, if you do have a device which has that issue, my personal recommendation is to go and get your device replaced. And the next thing you might ask me is, hey Manchi, does it have the rainbow effect when you tilt the display? Yes, there is some rainbowing effect. And for your outdoor usage in bright sunlight, this is not the best of displays. They do need to add some more nits, make it more brighter when it is outdoor. So that is a limitation of this Google Pixel 7a display. But other than that, your media consumption indoors, everything will be absolutely fine. Next up, let us talk about the speaker and haptics, and I think this is where Google did cut some corners. So the vibration motor and the haptics are not from flagship level, they are from a mid-range level, and you can feel it when you are typing on the keyboard. As for the speakers, you do have stereo speakers, but again, not top of the line, not super bad either, and they can hold themselves at maximum volume. And here is a demo and a sample of the speakers of the Google Pixel 7a. Then let us talk about your biometrics, your fingerprint scanner, and your face unlock. So yes, you do have under display fingerprint scanner, which is an optical one, not the high-speed ultrasonic ones which you have on the flagship Samsung's. So it is a bit on the slower side if you compare it to an ultrasonic under display fingerprint scanner, but it is accurate. It will not unlock with unrecognized fingerprints. Other than that, with the Google Pixel 7a, Google has decided to add face unlock as well. So you can scan your face using the front camera and you can use it to unlock your device. That's about it. You cannot use face unlock for payments because they do not have any special hardware for face unlock. So that might be a downside. But yes, you can use face unlock to unlock your Google Pixel 7a, and the speed here is pretty good. Next up, let us talk about software. So the Pixel 7a runs the Pixel UI out of the box. Either you like it or you don't like it. It does not have all the features which say One UI has or MIUI has or Realme UI has, but it does run pretty smooth. That is what me personally I look for with respect to software, is the UI smooth. Are there any jitters or any lags? So that is not the case with the Pixel 7a. UI is pretty smooth, no jitters, no lags, animations are great. Of course, you are going to get day one Android updates and you are going to get 3 years of OS updates or 3 OS updates. So Android 13 out of the box on the Pixel 7a, you will get till Android 16. As for your security updates, 5 years of security updates from Google. Again, do note all the Pixels out there do get the latest Android version on the same day or maybe a week apart. And it's not like the other OEMs out there like Samsung who do promise multiple years of OS updates, but the updates are like, say, a year later after Google has released the actual Android version. That is not the case with Google Pixels, and that is something which you do need to know, which a lot of other reviewers don't mention. Next up, let us talk about your battery and charging and the screen on time. So wired charging, I think it's supposed to be 18 watts or 20 watts maximum. Now, do note it does have wireless charging. I do not know how many watts that will be, but there is no reverse wireless charging. For our charging test, we used a 40-watt power delivery charger and we charged the phone like 4 or 5 times. I think the fourth time I was not able to charge it fully, but here on screen are your numbers. So in 30 minutes, you can get anywhere between 32 to 36% battery charge. Then for 50%, the time we got was anywhere between 43 and 46 minutes, and a full charge was like 110 minutes, which is like 1 hour, 50, 51, 52 minutes. So almost 2 hours to charge from 0 or 1 to 100, which in my humble opinion is a bit more these days, but it is what it is. Then, what about your usage and screen on time? Well, for starters, it is very difficult to gauge your usage because your usage and situation might differ from mine. So, here's some data which I have collected while I was testing the Pixel 7a, and you will see things like I'm watching YouTube videos on 5G on Wi-Fi with Bluetooth headphones, without Bluetooth headphones. I'm recording 4K 60 using Google Maps. So all those numbers are on your screen right now. And of course, if you do intensive tasks like, say, use Google Maps, or you are recording in 4K, then that is CPU and GPU intensive, is going to take up more battery. So with all these details which you see on your screen right now, you should be able to figure out whether this is the phone for you or not, and whether you're going to get enough screen on time or not. But I would like to add that if you are a normal user, you're not gaming for extended sessions, you have like 1 hour of GPS use, 2 or 3 hours of media consumption, then it will easily last you a day. But if you are a heavy user, you are into gaming, you record a lot of videos, then again your results may vary. And another important thing I would like to add over here is that how your phone performs with respect to battery backup also depends on how good of a signal strength you're getting with respect to 5G or 4G. If your signal strength is not good enough, then the phone is going to consume and use more battery to keep you connected to the network. However, if the signal strength is pretty good, then it is going to use up less battery. So that is another factor which you do need to consider. Next up, let us talk about performance and overheating. So, in your day to day usage, you will not have any issues like YouTube videos on 5G, Twitter, scrolling through your Instagram feed. All those things will be absolutely fine. However, to check the gaming experience, even though we do not game, we ran first of all Geekbench, followed by four back-to-back N22 runs, and then followed that with a CPU throttle test, and the results are on your screen right now. So as you can see, the numbers are pretty consistent, but eventually it did throttle, which is being shown in the CPU throttle test. So obviously, if you are into gaming, you have longer gaming sessions, then unfortunately the Pixel 7a is not for you. If you are into casual gaming, 15-20 minute sessions, then you should be fine with the Pixel 7a, but do not expect it to perform like the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2s with respect to gaming. And of course, you know who to blame for the lackluster gaming on the Pixel 7a. It is Samsung and Exynos, because Tensor G2 is of course based on Exynos. Now, coming to the elephant in the room, does the Google Pixel 7a overheat when you're recording 4K 60? Well, to be very honest, when I first got the device, it did overheat when recording 4K 60 specifically. That was the only situation wherein it would overheat. But then I got the May 2023 security patch like 36 hours earlier, and then it's working like a boss. I recorded a 45-minute 4K 60 FPS video from the Pixel 7a outdoors. 84-85 Fahrenheit feels like 88-89, no issues. The phone did not break a sweat. It kept chugging along, chugging along, chugging along, and eventually when I broke my sweat, that is when I came inside after 45 minutes. So good news here that the Pixel 7a 4K 60 is no issues. It works like a boss. Moving over to the cameras. So on the Google Pixel 7a, you have a 64 megapixel Sony sensor on the back along with a wide angle, and the front is 12.2 megapixels. Now do note this is a Google Pixel. So if you take pictures of moving objects, you have kids, you have pets, then this is the best phone to get, because even the iPhone and the Samsungs struggle if you have to take pictures of moving objects. Google Pixel 7a works like a boss in those situations. The only improvement which me personally would love to see on the camera on the Google Pixel 7a with respect to pictures is edge detection when you have an object behind the subject whose portrait picture you are taking. Other than that, if you compare it with the Google Pixel 7 pictures, you will notice that the white balance is a bit warmer on the Google Pixel 7a, but that was the case with the Google Pixel 6a versus Google Pixel 6 as well. And you can always change the white balance on your pictures using the slider in the camera application. The Google Pixel 7a does good in low light as well, and of course Google's night sight is one of the best out there. So all in all, no complaints with the pictures from the back. Now moving over to the pictures from the front camera, they are good and clear, but the only drawback which I would like to mention is that the front lens or the front camera is fixed focal length. And another thing I would like to mention which is worth appreciating is the fact that the color shift between the main lens and the wide angle is not that much. Moving over to the videos. So Google is not like the best when it comes to taking and recording videos from your Google Pixel devices, but the Google Pixel 7a is good enough. It can do 4K 60. And before you ask me, hey Manchi, does the Google Pixel 7a overheat when you're recording at 4K 60 FPS for extended period? Well, the answer to that is no. It used to overheat when I first got it and it was running the March 2023 security patch. But as soon as you take it out of the box, you should get the May 2023 security patch, after which I tested it extensively outside in the sun. 84-85 Fahrenheit feels like 88. Recorded a 45-minute 4K 60 FPS clip, no overheating, working like a boss. So good news in this respect that the issue from the Pixel 6a and in fact the Pixel 7, which do overheat when recording 4K 60, is not present on the Google Pixel 7a. And for videos from the front camera, the good news is that you can record 4K 30 FPS from the front camera now. And of course, if you're looking for a camera comparison of the Pixel 7 versus the Pixel 7a, Pixel 6a versus the Pixel 7a, those can be found in the description of this video. So all in all, the cameras here are pretty good, something which is expected from a Google Pixel. So who should get the Google Pixel 7a and at what price? Well, you should get it if you like the Pixel UI, you want day one Android updates, you want to play around with the Android betas. Then if you like natural pictures and you do record videos, because you can now do 4K 30 from the front and 4K 60 from the back is pretty stable as well. And of course the pictures here are obviously natural looking, they are not like fake kind of looking. If you are capturing it from a Samsung, if you like that style of pictures, then the Google Pixel is for you. And another reason to get the Pixel 7a would be if you have pets or kids and you take a lot of pictures of moving objects, then yes, nothing out there can beat the Pixel series right now. Not even the iPhones or the Samsungs out there with their top of the line 14 Pro Max and the 23 Ultras. And of course, Pixel 7a might not be the best one-handed phone out there, but it is a pretty decent one-handed phone out there with a flat display, which means it is screen protector friendly. And as for the price, how much should you pay for it? Well, in my humble opinion, 450 US dollars is a pretty sweet spot for the Pixel 7a, unless they raise the price to say 499 US dollars and are giving you Pixel Buds A series for free, then yeah, you can go for it. But if it is 499 US dollars just for the phone, then I think that's not a good price. 450 US dollars for the Pixel 7a is the perfect price in my opinion, and anything under than that is obviously any debater. But if you can get the Pixel 7 for the same price as the Google Pixel 7a, then it makes sense to get the Pixel 7. Now, who should not get the Pixel 7a? Well, one, if you want fast charging, because not everybody is up for, 1 hour, 50, 55 minutes of charging from 1 to 100. Maybe you travel a lot, you need a quick boost, then the Pixel 7a is not for you. Then the next thing, if you do not like the natural pictures from the Pixel 7a, you like your pictures to be a bit more colorful, a bit more punchy, colors boosted up a little like Samsung does, then the Pixel 7a is not for you. Other than that, if you are into gaming, extended gaming sessions, again Tensor G2 based on Exynos, Pixel 7a is not for you. If you are outdoors a lot, you consume a lot of media outdoors, the sun is shining brightly right on top of your phone, then the Pixel 7a is not for you, because they definitely need to make some improvements, increase the nits for outdoor media consumption. The Pixel 7a is not the greatest out there. And the last reason to not get the Pixel 7a would be the fact that the front camera is fixed focus, which is known to cause blurry selfies. Now, me personally, I never had that issue on either the Pixel 6a, the Pixel 7, or for that matter, the Pixel 7a, but it has affected other users. And there it is, peeps. Now you know who should get the Pixel 7a and who should not get the Pixel 7a. But at the beginning of the video, I said that the Pixel 7a is almost a slam dunk device, except for two issues. What are those two issues or things which are messing on the Pixel 7a? Well, in my personal opinion, if the Pixel 7a had faster wired charging, and if it had a better display for outdoor use, this would have been a slam dunk device. What do you peeps think about it? What is your opinion on the Pixel 7a? Do you have any more questions about the Pixel 7a? Leave them in the comments on this video and I will try to answer as soon as possible.